Hi, it's Matt again. Had a client had a question on using environment variables and pipelines. So I haven't seen a whole lot of content on this online, so I decided to do a quick video on this. So we'll go through how to create an environment variable in the Power Platform and then use a pipeline to deploy it to a new environment. Let's go. As you can see here, I have a fresh solution that was just created in my environment. So what we're going to do first and foremost is I will create my environment variables. So I'm going to create a SharePoint environment variable. So I go here to more and I go into environment variable and I'm going to create a display name. So this is going to be demo dash spot. All right, and this is going to be site, and I want to do the site one first, and that'll become more apparent here in a second. But I'm going to choose my data type. I've got all kinds of different types that I can do. I'm going to select data source, and my data source connector is going to be SharePoint. All right. Now the connection. This is I can create a new connection here, and this is of course going to create a connection for my username, and this is kind of what we want to. Uh, this is what is going to move forward with the environment variable when we deploy this via our pipeline. So we're going to connect directly. I don't have an on-premises gateway, and it'll have me log in. We're just going to do that one, and we are ready to go. All right, so now I have a connection. So now I can come back into this. I'll refresh it. It's got this, it's got that, it's got my description, data source, SharePoint, and my connections right there. All right. My parameter type first is going to be site, and I'm going to select a site. My site is going to be spot. There it is. And so there are different things you can do with environment variables. If I go into advanced, if I check no here for export value, this site will not come with it. If this is left yes, it'll go ahead and come with it as the current site value. Now you still have the ability to change this once you get into your new environment, but if you want to make sure that this is not going with you, you leave this as no. If I click yes, this is going to come with it. Okay. Default value. So if I do want a value to kind of default as it goes through, this is always going to be overwritten by the current site value. But I can put a default value in there that will always kind of default. If I click no to this, that means I'm going to keep the current site, and maybe I have another site here that's going to be used for that. So for now, I'm just going to click yes here. I do want to export the value, and I'm not going to have a default value. So we'll save this one. And then what I want to do is I want to create one for a list. As soon as this gets done doing it. There it is. Let's go new, more, environment variable, display name here. I'm going to call it the same thing, EMO dash spot dash questions, right? And again, my data type is going to be data source, and I'm going to choose a connector. Is going to be SharePoint. It automatically grabs the one that I have here now, and this one is going to be list. All right, and now I'm going to choose a site. Now, the reason I did my site environment variable first is that I have to choose one from my environment variable. All right, this has to be this. So you have to have your site done first. So I select that as a site, and again, this is you have a current list value. This environment variable ties back into this one. So when this one gets configured, it's going to inherit into this list one. All right. So we'll go list, and my current list, again, same kind of setup. I want to Instapoll questions here. Again, same kind of setup. I have an exported value. I can export this. It's defaulted to no. I'm going to hold and say yes. And then I have a value, default value here if I need it. All right, we're going to save that. So now I have two environment variables right there, and they're ready to be used within my work. All right, so I'll go up to new, and I'm going to say an automation, and just for fun, this is going to be an instant cloud flow, and this will take a second to load, and we'll give it a name whenever it pops up here. So our flow name is going to be demo spot SharePoint. All right, just give it a name. We're going to manually trigger this one, and we're going to create. So this will create it in my solution. And because it's in my solution, I now have the ability, and for whatever reason, it defaults to the old design surface, but that's fine for this what we're doing here. So I'm going to search for my connectors here. We'll search for SharePoint, and all I'm going to do is grab a single one here of get items. All right, so we're going to do that, and it's going to ask me about my connection, of course. All right, but what I'll do here is, because I'm going to use an environment variable for this kind of stuff, you use the connection for the environment variable. It won't use the connection that it's using right now. Okay, so that's important to realize. So as I go into site address here, I'm going to drop this and go all the way to the bottom and say enter custom value. Custom value. Now I have all my environment variables. Okay, so here I have a lot of environment variables that are all over the place, but this is the one that I'm going to use. This demo spot site for the site address, and then for the list name, same kind of thing. Enter custom value, and it's going to be demo spot questions right here. Okay, so here we go. There they are, and from here I'm done basically, right? So I can go ahead and save this. And if I manually trigger this flow, we're going to get a list of items from my site. So this is just creating it, right? And this is now I have an environment variable. Yep. So I use OData filters, improve performance, blah blah blah. So I've got environment variables on this, and I've got environment variables on this. So now I can go ahead and use my pipeline to deploy this particular solution. So let's go back to this, right? And now we're in our solution. We can go over to pipelines, and I do have a pipeline configured here for demo pipeline, and we'll go ahead and click deploy here. I don't have those environment variables in my new environment, so we'll click deploy here, and that will pick everything up and move it. So here's my destination pipeline. I'm going to do it now, and I will go next. And it'll take it a second to deploy. We'll come back when that's ready. So as you can see here, now we've got our connection references are set up. They both have green check marks, so we're good to go. We're going to go next, and we're going to go into our environment variables, and it'll say one update needed. So again, here is the spot where I can now change this for the environment. This is the target environment that I'm coming into. All right, so I have the ability to change the site, and I have the ability to change the list that's on the site. So that is going to be fine. I'll click next. I give it a version. It's going to auto generate some deployment notes for me, and we'll go ahead and click deploy. And that's all there is to it. I am going to pause and wait for this to go ahead and deploy, and well, there it is. It's ready to go. There's my deployment notes, and let's go. So we can see now we're in the time of deploying the next environment to our next environment. That'll get done. And then once that's there, I'll have my environment variables set up and my program ready to go, my solution ready to go. Okay, it's that easy. I hope you got something from this, and I'll see you next time.